All right. Hey, everybody. It's me, Scott Wolf, back live with you again. Carson Drew on CW's Nancy Drew. And I am in the middle of my day-long takeover for our Season 1 season finale, which is tonight, 9/8 Central, only on the CW. Hey, everybody. Let everybody gather here in a second here. I'm going to bring in the one and only Miss Leah Lewis, who I just love. She plays George on Nancy Drew. I know you guys love her. I wish I had more scenes with her because she's such an incredibly lovely, funny, awesome person and such a talented actor. So hopefully in season 2, there'll be a whole like Carson, George storyline. All right, without further ado, I'm going to bring her on in here. Hi, everybody. Hi from India. This is the coolest thing. This is the coolest thing. Russia, India, Greece, like everyone around the world, we love you. Thank you for watching Nancy Drew. Thank you for being fans of the show. And ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Miss Leah Lewis.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my God, I kind of look like a safari explorer right now. I was gonna go sit by the pool and read. Hi guys. Hi Scott.
Hi, I want to sit by a pool and read.
Well, it's not my pool.
Okay.
My boyfriend's pool. So
That's it.
I wish I had my own, but no.
That pool doesn't know the difference.
True. Very true. It's so nice to see your face.
It's really good to see you. How are you holding up first and foremost
Here,
in
I'm gonna
all
take
of
this hat off.
this crazy new world?
I've been, things have been really good, but oh my gosh. Ow!
Oh no,
Things
you're being
have also
attacked by
been-
your hat.
Exactly. Things have been a little, there's good days and then there's okay days. I mean, one is as good as they can be in quarantine, but I've just been trying to make the most of it and, stay connected and like be there for my friends and my family. How about you guys?
We're really good. Oh, my son wants to say hello real quick. This is Can you say hi to Leah? And say hi to the
Hi.
Oh my
Say
goodness.
safe and well.
No.
Okay, beat it.
He's incredible. He's so
He's
cute.
He's sweet.
He looks so much like you and Kelly.
What's funny
I
is
love it so much.
he's like the little redhead, and I had thought for a minute if we ever needed to tell a story with like a young Carson Drew, but in light of where our story has gone, there's reasons why.
You never know. Maybe we could
You
see
never-
why Carson is the way he is.
True.
He looks exactly like you, and maybe at one point Carson decided to dye his hair dark.
And how is
Maybe
the way Leah? How is the way Carson is?
the way he is, he's kind of run into a couple of roadblocks recently. I don't know if you have been present for that.
Yes.
But I think there's more that meets the eye with your character.
I think-
Everything that we've been seeing lately is like, it is a little out of character for Carson, but he has so much on his plate,
Yeah.
so much on his plate.
Well, so I want to say yes. Well, congratulations, first of all, on it's a big day, the season 1 finale.
It is, guys, it's a big day for all of us. I can't
No.
believe we're already here. It feels like just yesterday we were shooting the pilot, honestly.
It's crazy how fast it goes.
Yeah, how do you
Um,
feel? Oh my goodness.
I think look, it is not a given. It is not even close to a given that when, even when you begin something that has incredible promise and has talented people everywhere, getting through a season and just successfully telling a story that grabs a bunch of people isn't easy to do, especially in this day and age where there's so many places for an audience to look. And so
Totally.
I'm really proud of what we've made here. And how are you feeling? I mean, you've done other series work. How has this compared to other stuff you've done?
Well, this is the first time I've done 20 whole episodes.
Right.
So as you guys all know in the audience right now, we were supposed to have 22, but amidst everything happening, it just wasn't in the cards for us, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's a marathon. It definitely is a marathon. And honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better season one.
Yeah.
I I haven't really had any like bad experiences before on shows, but the way that everyone bonded with each other and supported each other, I mean, from the cast all the way to our sound tech, all the way to our art department, it's like every single person was so on the same page. And
Yeah.
I mean, as an actor or just as a person in general, to have that kind of communication and that love being spread around, like that's a really big privilege. And I just like, I've literally walked away from this like with a brand new family, like you included.
That's awesome. Well, so, and one of the things that, the crew, right? You guys, as the Drew crew on this show, have such an amazing chemistry. Everyone is so unique, but there's this real sort of common bond and this shared sort of humor, shared understanding. You're kind of like working off of one brain when you guys are all in the room together. Is that something you felt very early on, like even before we started shooting? What did you have a moment where you were like, oh, wait a second, this is different. Like all of the things you can't kind of buy is just, it's here.
Yeah, I mean, even though we are one brain, all of us operate very differently, as different parts of the brains do.
Sure.
But I have found that I have learned so much from every single one of our castmates in the way that they prepare for things, the way they show up on set, the way that they make on the fly improvisations. Just, I have found like very early on, I feel like everyone was very accepting of the way that we all have our different processes and we were able to put that together to make this harmonious thing.
Yeah.
Actually, some of
Yeah.
my favorite days are when we are all together, because our storylines tend to jut out a little bit. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, you and I have been in the same room together like what, like five
I
times on set.
know. Not enough. Not enough.
And I think that's wonderful. It helps when like you want to work with these people. I want to see Scott Wolf every day. I want to see Riley every day. The characters that I'm not as tied up with, you know?
Yes. And I do think that there's something great. I think when a show comes together well, is cast well, and is obviously written and produced as well as this is. But I think with this group of actors, what's so fun is you can put any two different actors in a room in a scene, and it's got a whole new vibe. It's like its own sort of, obviously there's a sort of a blanket vibe feeling about this story we're telling, and all the characters fit within it. But I just love how the dynamic shifts when you shift whichever two actors are in any given scene together.
Oh, totally, totally, totally. Like, for example, like when George is around Ryan, she's very like,
Right.
I'm really uncomfortable as she should be. And
Right.
then I feel like when we're together, it's funny because I mean, like George and Nancy's dad don't really interact, so I feel like it's
No,
very like humorous on the surface,
totally.
like banter.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah. We did get to tell that one fun story in episode, was it in 7 or 8? I think it was 8. It was when it was like the Ace's car accident, when we had to do it was when Carson got drawn into doing a ceremony in the living room at the house.
I'm
Um,
so sorry you cut out.
oh,
What did we do?
the episode where we did where with McGinnis
Oh,
and
with McGinnis. What a special episode that was too. I
it was
don't
awesome.
know if anyone in the crowd knows. Um, Adam Beach, who plays Chief McGinnis, actually brought in all of his own props,
Yeah.
from his own culture. And like that was so meaningful. And on top of that, yes, like us getting to work together and us giving each other side eye of like, is Nancy really making us do this right now?
Right, right,
Like,
right.
I
It was
love
so
that.
fun.
I love that. I can't
I,
wait for a moment where like her and I get closer maybe in season two and I'm like, hey, Mr. Drew, and you guys are fine again. And then we can like be cool.
That's awesome. I'm glad you brought up that thing about Adam because I did think it was really special. And the fact that all of those, the feathers and the animals and all the things that were in that scene that he was using in the ceremony are real things that he and his family have used in their lives. And it just kind of like
Yes.
took the experience to, it made it very real, and it brought it to another level, which was so cool.
And I also just love how the show celebrates that culture and the diversity of that, you know, the fact that he was using things that were from his personal life that were true to his culture. It was just like, I mean, where do we get to do this any other place?
Yeah.
You know, it was really, really cool of him. And I love how they encouraged him to do that too. That's like really important.
So is there anything you'd want to, because obviously we're kind of focusing right this second on tonight's big season finale. Is there anything, was there part of this story as we got towards the end of the season that you really loved doing, that surprised you, that was your favorite? I mean, anything you comes to mind?
You know, so tonight there's going to be a scene that, I mean, I can't really talk about it. You
Right.
guys are going to know what scene it is, but it
Right.
is my favorite scene because of topic matter and just the heart of the situation, and it addresses certain things. I won't say what, but um, I
Your
think
favorite
some
scene
other
of
things that I
the season?
actually tell you guys what it is. You have to watch it tonight. But I think one that I can share was, I think, I can't remember what episode it was. It was the episode where Ted, it was right before Ted got kidnapped, and we were playing with this dragon toy, and we were all sitting in a circle, and we had like these wind blowers um, blowing around us. Kennedy was like screaming, I was screaming, everyone. It was just like, I think that was one of the first times I think it was maybe our second seance that we did, but it was just such a fun scene to do, and to do it with the people that I mean, and this is really vague. I liked everything.
Yeah.
To be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah,
I
yeah.
really loved everything. But my favorite
That's,
stuff was when we were like, long story short, is when we were all together.
yeah.
Because that time together and getting to show the group dynamic of, you know, Nancy being the one charging on, Tunji slash Nick being the voice of reason, Ace being the one who comes up with another solution because he has all these different talents. George really like not down for it, and then all of a sudden saves the day at the end. And then Bess, who is like scared and then like finally comes up to the table. It's like, I just love the episode we did. You,
Yeah.
Riley, I, and everyone else were together. I was brimming. Even though it was 4 a.m, I was brimming.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like as much as what I was saying earlier, I believe is true, which is that, you know, any pairing of characters in the show makes for a unique, interesting dynamic. There's really kind of nothing like when there are these congregations of a bunch of different people, and usually something big is happening too when everyone's together. So do you want to would you want to take like a question or two or four?
Yeah, I would love to take a couple questions.
Okay. So
Does anyone have a couple questions?
yeah, anybody have any questions specifically for Leah about George or about any part of the show? Um,
Quickly, before we answer questions, I just want to
yeah,
thank you guys all for supporting the show and supporting George and Carson, Drew, and Nancy. Like, it means the world that you guys are here today with us on live and going to be with us later for the finale. It has been like an absolute pleasure bringing this story to life for you guys. So thank you for that. Oh, how
that's
is working with
awesome.
Tunji? I could go on and on about what a wonderful human being Tunji is. He is an absolute pleasure. He has become one of my close friends slash brother. Um, and he could not be a more supportive scene partner. What do I think about George and Ned? I think that George and Ned are very complicated, and I know you guys really loved Ned with Nancy. I did too, trust. But I think they're really good for each other. You know, George has a really tough personality, and Nick is a bit more soft, and I think they're kind of like the yin and yang. Um,
Do you do your own
if I could
braids?
play, I did not do my own braids, but I can do my own braids. Um, if I
Very.
could be another character in this, oh, I would definitely be Ace. He's so funny. He always
He is.
gets like the really, really funny lines. I'd
Yeah.
be Ace for sure.
That was I think one of my favorite sequences that I got to do was where the buddy cop, the buddy adventure that broke out between Ace and Carson.
I love that. I love
Was
that
funny.
so much.
Uh,
Uh,
you
one more. I'll do a couple more. Why aren't George and Best cousins? I get this a lot. We're doing a fresh take on it. In this, Bess kind of has her own identity, and so does George, and I think it just makes for a different kind of storyline. No particular reason. Um, what's it like working with Kennedy? Well, Scott, we
I
could just
mean,
go on about this forever as well.
yeah, that's what
It's
we could
amazing.
do. Yeah,
We could
she's pretty
literally do a
special.
special episode on that. Kennedy is so special, and the way that she embodies Nancy Drew and just gives and gives and gives to us as a cast and as a friend, it's it's remarkable. I learned so much from her every time we work together, and I'm very, very grateful that she's our Nancy.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I totally agree with that. Any other? Oh, what do you and George have in common?
Uh, I think her
You guys are the same
sarcasm.
height. I
Her
know that for sure.
her what?
You're the same height, you and George. It's
Yes, George and
a,
I, because I am George.
it's a dad joke. I play with
Um,
that.
I love that. Scott's got full of dad jokes. Um, I feel like I'm pretty headstrong the way that George is, and sometimes I get a little like hmm, hmm, towards things. But she's also incredibly soft, and she's very protective over her family and the one she loves. And I feel like I'm the same way. You know, we both fight for what we believe in and what we love, and we try to overcome our fears as much as possible. And George loves Scott, and I love Scott. So we have that in common.
Oh, we love you. Is there anything you'd want to say just in terms of like, I mean, I love that you jumped in with the acknowledging all the people watching and all the people that watch the show, because obviously the whole thing is for them, and I love how much you are conscious of and appreciate that all the time. And but is there anything you'd want to say? Like, was there anything that was your that's sort of, I don't want to ask you one of those lame questions that's impossible to answer. Um, um, like, just was there a part of this whole first season that was sort of the most rewarding part of it, or maybe more than one part of it that you found just to be either surprising or unlike anything you had experienced before, or especially rewarding?
I think something that was really rewarding was, especially this being one of my first TV shows, if we're getting personal here,
We are.
the scripts come out and you read them. And sometimes, like for me as an actor, I'm like, wow, like George is doing some really intense stuff, or maybe she's not. And I think just approaching each episode and every scene, just trying to adopt an attitude of fearlessness.
Mm.
Um, I feel like I really surprised myself in that aspect. There were a couple of things for George that I was like, oh, like how am I going to tackle this? But other than just me trying to adopt that attitude, like thanks to the cast, I was really just surprised at how it's kind of like everyone, when we had a scene partner, we're like, get on my shoulders, and then I'm going to get on your shoulders, and then you're going to get on my shoulders. And just seeing how we all work together, that was so rewarding. And just, dude, just the TV show in general, I'm still like,
Yeah, I
like,
know, I know, I
what?
know.
It's so cool. And I hope that never, ever goes away. It's such an exciting thing to be a part of.
That's just the best. I just loved everything about everything you just said,
Thank you.
and
And
yeah,
you
it's
too. like I want to share with everyone, part of what kept me going is your passion for the craft. As Leah, and I would love for everyone to know, like, how do you stay positive and okay during all of this, you know?
Well, I mean, I feel like, look, you know, we're really lucky. Full stop. We are really lucky, you know, right? We're lucky to do this thing that we love to do, and then you add all these other extra bits that make it even more lucky. Like we have incredible people that run this show, talented people, people that give us really honest and interesting material to work with. Um,
Yeah.
and I think what I said to, it's funny because what I said to Melinda earlier was, I feel like what I would want people watching this to know is that behind the scenes, you know, they see the story we're telling, they see the performances, but the quality of the humanity behind the whole thing is every bit as special as what winds up on screen, and it's responsible for what winds up on screen. And so I just loved hearing you say all those things about how, you know, everyone on this show, every producer, every writer, every actor, every person on our crew, from side to side, feels like they can count on each other. And you know, I mean, if we're even going to get, bring it into this moment we're living through right now, you know, I think counting on each other is everything. And the fact that our show can be representative of that in any way is a gift.
Yeah. That's so beautiful, Scott. And I agree with you. I totally agree with you. You couldn't have said any better.
All right. I love you. You're awesome.
I love
Um,
you too. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Also, just want to say a big thank you to, yes, our producers, the CW, Fake Empire, literally everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. It's yours. This is for you.
you
And
rock.
Scott, I love you. I love you so much. I will
Love you.
see you later, okay?
I love you, honey. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, hon. I mean, come on. Leah Lewis. What a special person. All right. That was awesome. All right. Here's the deal. Hi from Brazil. I love you. I'm going to jump off, but in 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, 5, 10 minutes, I'm going to jump back on here and I'm going to be talking to Larry Tang. Larry is the producing director on the show. He has so very much to do with how this thing got built, how it looks, how it feels. He took a lot of pressure to do it a certain way that people might expect. That's been done before. And he was like, smash that apart. This is what this show wants to be. And the show is as special as it is in so many ways because of Larry. And I can't wait to have him on here. And I haven't seen him since we left Vancouver. So I can't wait to talk to Larry. I'm going to jump off. Please jump back on here in 5 or 10 minutes and join Larry and I as we have a quick talk leading up to tonight's big season finale, 9/8 Central on the CW. I don't know what that was. It's like a sideways peace kiss. All right, bye, guys.